Whiskey and White going all the way. What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey and White Show with me, your host, Tommy Mac.
Me, your better host, Tyrone McKenna.
And, you know, we're in association with Bud Lightyear and Baked Potato. And also, we have an episode or a sponsor for this week's episode. We have, you know, our very loyal listener all the way down under in Australia, Dara. He's been there from day one. He's subscribing. He loves it. He says we're bringing him a piece of home over there in Australia. So thank you, Dara, for listening. Keep listening. Get all your mates to listen. And his big business, Plumbing and Heating, AN1. These fellas are plumbing, heating, gas, oil specialists. And if you've got issues with the oil tank,
see him.
Give him a fucking shit. Facebook and the numbers and everything's there. So these guys have all their plumbing issues sorted. Shout out Dara. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon as well.
And live this week.
Yeah, on Friday night, the live, there's still a few tickets. Tickets actually are very minimal, so make sure you get them to avoid disappointment. On the night, just a quick reminder, we have Paddy McDonald, who's doing a surprise set. We have our very own Antonini Koketsi, Ando Koketsi, world champion. The whole 2 belts, unified world champion from this very district. And we have the one and only Labyrinth, superstar, singer, producer, musician, all that. So make sure you get down there. And yeah, this is the morning after Tyrone's fight.
I don't think we've been on this show and won a fight. Since we've started this show, have we won a fight?
Trying to think. No, I did actually. I won a fight, but it was terrible. I couldn't be annoyed. That was the time when I wanted to retire, and I was like,
I was walking around here going, I don't think we've been on this show since yes, we've won.
But you know what, Tyrone? It's the taking part that counts. You know? You got to know you did what you had to do.
Listen,
we didn't do what you had to do.
Do you know what was frustrating? Afterwards, the doctor came to me. He was doing his wee checks. He was like, see if the referee had referred that to me, I'd have stopped it.
Do you know what? You see, during the fight, I was sitting there and I was beside Abs. I was like, fuck, look at your man's eye. That's completely closed.
Yeah.
Misses the last round. And then
kept fucking going.
It kept going. I thought the ref was definitely going to.
I mean, the ref even said, like, he came over and he was like, how was that accidental head clash? He was like, I haven't even fucking headbutted yet.
Did he say it?
Yeah.
So, Jesus, so I would have went to. See, because it happened in like the 3rd round. So if he had stepped in then, it would have been a draw.
The punch was the 1st round. And then the 2nd round, he said he went. And the 2nd round,
it blew up.
That blew up. Because that's what happens when you.
Yeah.
If you just don't know, you blow your nose, your eye will swell. But
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, he said that happened in the 2nd round. So
it would have been a technical draw, fuck's sake.
Now it would have been sole points, wouldn't it?
No, not in the. Well, if he had stopped it in the first 4 rounds, if he had 1-4 goes just a technical draw,
right, actually.
And then after it goes to the scorecard.
You're right.
But I thought he's definitely going to step in. But do you know what, Tyrone? You have balls to burn. Your box burning. Your boxing great. See, when you went down in the first body shot, you got up, you started screaming at him. Ah! That's why my voice is like hoarse. It's going,
nah, fuck. Do you know what? When I went out, I was like, fuck. I mean, I stuck to a wee game plan because I said,
you're going box.
And you were laughing, like, all right.
Yeah.
Everyone was laughing.
Buddy.
Sure. But I went out and I was sticking to my wee game plan, fucking jabbing like fuck. And it was the first left hand I threw. Boom. He threw. I hit him at the same time.
Oh, that was such a shot.
That's what swole his eye.
Is it?
Because you seen it, he was fucking wincing of his eye. But the only time he fucking touched me in the body.
Yeah.
I think it must have been because of that loose fucking.
The weight cut
was insane.
Definitely the weight cut.
I went from 82 kilo, and then I weighed in that day 64. So I don't know what the
But you know
fuck
what?
is.
Your balls only like a Bengal tiger because you were retired, and even before your retirement, had a long layoff in between fights. So it's not as
Yeah.
if you were active, and then you went super. You didn't train when you retired one bit. You come back and went for the hardest fight available to you. Like my moon's no dozer,
Nah.
and listen, you were boxed the head in. It just wasn't meant to be. But it sets up the rubber match.
That's what he says straight away. He's like, there are three matches. It's like, oh God, let's go.
Let's go, 100%. Let's go. Get the lads a trip over to France. It was unreal, the atmosphere for you coming out. What happened actually in the runway? Because when it's just the start was like, you better
Yeah.
come down.
I
Then
don't
like the
know.
stubby man come around and fucking curtain like that.
Really?
Like, fuck. He
I
slapped it. He slapped
I didn't
it.
know what was going on. I could hear it. Like I heard the music and then I heard a cutting and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So
Some fella that kept coming in, going like that. Everyone was going, fuck, John's balls fell off. But
I don't know what happened. I don't know. But I heard that like I told him about 10 times that day. I'm walking from the change room out the stage, on calling Tyrone, but then fuck.
don't know. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
How did it feel being headlining? It's your first headliner,
Um
but you always wanted.
it was,
No, it's
but
bittersweet. Like,
so I'm just melted today. Um so I fucking
understandably,
I
understandably,
can't do this.
you can't do it.
I'm fucking on.
Right? This, listen. Do you know what? I'm gonna carry it. Okay, I'm gonna go on. Where we looking? Listen, Carl. These are the things that happen. You know, boxing is physical, but mental. This guy mentally exhausted. You know, he put everything in the camp, and where was he? He was in Thailand, Tyrone and married with two kids, and how long was your 5 6 weeks Thailand, home training Dublin every week, all these sacrifices to come home and come up short in the end. After putting on a good performance and everything was the way we wanted it to be. And when you get caught in the ribs, there's nothing you can do. Do you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have done the podcast the day after the fight, but obviously we all thought he was going to win. I'm going to ring him here and tell him to come back. I'm going to ring him now. I don't know if it's safe to slag him. You all know Tyrone's got 80 hits. If I start slagging him, it could be detrimental for my health. But we will answer. He might not answer. I don't think so. Tyrone, listen, do a wee lap and then come back. I know your head's melted, but we're still going here. Take 5, and then we're going around. We're going around the hit the beer after, right? Right. Sit there. So yeah. Tough is tough. No, out
Since he didn't win, to be so vulnerable and about that must be really.
big time, and I think you know what Tyrone just said about he doesn't think that we've ever won. Come on here celebrating. Uh, I don't know if that's true, but Tyrone had one big fight and he announced his retirement. And then he's not retiring, by the way, now. So, like you say, to come on, be so vulnerable, it's hard, especially as a man. You know, the toxic masculinity, which I always talk about, but it's real.
What was it like when you lost the fight?
So I'm gonna walk you through the emotions, right? So it's worse than this might sound dramatic, but like as if somebody died, someone because your whole world ended. You know, you put everything in to this fight, and the stuff that is rated on a fight, you win, you go up to the next level, paycheck increases. You lose, you have to start again and rebuild, and you spend the best part of, I would say, on average, you're looking at 6 to 7 years of building up to get to the championship level. And one fight, might have to go back right back to the beginning. Hopefully, you don't. A lot of fighters, it depends if you have a good manager, a good promoter, and stuff. But a lot of the times, you have to go right back to the small halls and all that stuff. And the thought of, you know, imagine doing a marathon and you get to the finish line and you go over on your ankle or something and go, right, you're gonna have to start again from like, I cannot be annoyed doing this, or it's just mentally draining. And the even the financial stuff too, you know, you have plans for, right, I'm gonna do this, I win this fight, and I'm gonna get this money, I'm gonna buy this house or buy a car, or whatever. All those plans are just ruined. And especially it's not as if me and Tyrone were young men, young whippersnappers, you know, we're in our 30s, like early 30s, just to say, but still we have families and people are dependent. It's not just you winning for yourself, you have to win for your family. So for me, recently, my my last two fights, for the last couple of years, I haven't wanted to box really. Um, and I was just, I don't know, I was just sticking around, probably just for the money. And then I got I took a fight at short notice in Poland for European title. Went over there, lost, and I didn't really care too much because I just went for the money anyway. Then the last one in January, got took that. It was like 4 weeks notice. My manager phoned me, and I do a bit about this in my comedy. Phoned me a couple of days before Christmas and was like, "Listen, big opportunity. You win this, like your life will change." It's like, right, let's go for it. So, and I really did train properly and everything went well. And then to lose in that way, I was like, fuck this, I don't want to box no more. I felt the way Tyrone was feeling right now. But from that fight was on the 31st of January. Since then, I never trained or never done anything. And then probably looking at maybe 8 weeks ago, maybe longer, about 10 weeks ago, I was like, "Do you know what? Let me start training, just know, like, for myself." And then so I was doing weights for a while, and then I started boxing, and then now I've got the love back, and I'm back, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna get us a win. Let's go. I need to get a win somewhere down the lane. But we're at the thing as well. You're at the fucking top level. We're at world level boxing here, so you can't. It's not as if you're going and getting beat in a fucking, like, a fight that you should be winning. That I believe that was a crazy fight for Tyrone to take coming off retirement, but he wanted it. We all know Tyrone is a crazy guy, and he done everything what he needed to do. And if you watch the fight, he had it in the bag. Like, he was boxing holes in this guy. You just get caught to the body. You get caught a liver shot. What can you do? What can you do? I'll tell you, there's nothing you can do. But that's boxing. And Toronto bounced back.
How do you navigate the failure of that? Because obviously it's like there's so much press and promo, you're the face of everything, there's so many people tuning in.
Yeah,
And I'm sure like the last thing you want to do today is like talk about it.
exactly.
I think it's actually a very interesting thing to kind of show behind the scenes of like the post
Yeah,
and like what that actually looks like. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
people can forget the humanity in it.
yeah, yeah. It's have to take it on the chin, don't you? Excuse the pun, but you had to just soldier on and just put it behind it. You know, it's like
Do you think he's proud of how he navigated it all, like the boxing?
I think Tyrone has nothing to be ashamed of. Literally in his hometown, headlining in the biggest arena we have here, and it was he got a great reception. It was live on the zone. Literally living a dream. That was the boyhood dream. If you look around this gym, there's pictures of us when we were kids, and that's all we wanted to do was be like on the world stage fighting in the Odyssey Arena. Odyssey Arena. We used to go every week and drink down there every week. It sounds like we have a problem, doesn't it? But you see, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, box nightclub every week. Now he's the headline act in the place, so there's no shame, and he'll bounce back. You just it's just a boxing fight at the end of the day. Obviously, it's so public, so you feel that's the way you feel when you lose a fight. You feel the shame, but there is no shame, and the people are who are gonna um be hating, which the will they all come out of the woodwork to try and sink the boot in when someone's down. Haven't got the balls to step into the ring. The keyboard warriors, the brave guys who will make fun of you online, but then when they see him, they'll be like, "Oh, throwing hard luck, you were doing well." And want to get photos. It's mad, and that's just the world we live in. Even um that in the Olympics right now, everyone's like making fuss about the Olympics, and there's a girl from Algeria. They're going, she's trans, but look at the vitriol being thrown at her online, and the girl, it's a girl, it's a genuine girl, she's not trans, and Pete Taylor on a post about it, and he's saying everyone online they want to go about mental health. This girl has mental health. No one gives a shit about that. They're just slating her and degrading her and just giving her dogs abuse. But see them same people, this girl is now in the medal stages at the Olympics. Hopefully she wins gold. I think it'll be fitting. But see all the people who are slating her online and go, oh, shouldn't be letting men in the Olympics. See, she's won the medal now. If she walked down the road, they'd be all asking her for pictures. I said Olympic bronze medalist. So people are just fickle. I hope Tyrone. Well, he is because he's strong minded. He'll be able to see through it and deal with it. But
It's just the next day.
it's literally the next day, and it's hard to just come in and talk about it. And like I said, your whole world's come crashing down, and there was a big, not hype. What's the word I'm looking for? But he was excited to be back in boxing, back fighting, doing what he loves, and it's not over, like I say. But for right now, the immediate reaction is it's over for him.
So why did he retire in the first place?
Again, knee jerk reaction. He lost the fight, and you're so down, you're so low. He was sitting in the changing room and went, "That's it," and then done a post. That's me. I'm retired. Whereas right now, I spoke to Tyrone. He's not retiring, but he doesn't even want to talk about it. He doesn't want to do anything around boxing. So he made that decision, and then I think the Lord Mayor of the city wanted to give him a civic reception and stuff, and it was like, fuck him, I may stand by this decision. But at the end of the day, we're fighters. You can't just switch it off, and we can't just be. We're not normal people. They're not normal people. Don't choose to fight for a living. So to try and assimilate in the regular everyday stuff, it wasn't for him.
And also the big hole that you have in your life when you're not boxing. Like, what do you like? Some of the athletes feel that when they do retire or quit something. It's like, what do you replace all your energy into?
And what is the thing with all sport, not just boxers, all sports people when they're retiring, they're trying to fill a void, drinking drugs, So with boxing, it gives you that structure. There's no drinking, you're eating clean, you're living clean, you're training, you have that routine. Without it, you're just sitting in the house. And a lot of people would drink, I would say, out of boredom. Like, I don't have anything to do. May as well have a drink. And then you just end up getting a habit. So that the boxing gives Tyrone a stability, it gives everyone stability in their life. And you feel good after training. After you do a training session, you never regret doing a training session. But yeah,
Do you feel
Tyrone.
like your fight in January gave you that lease of life to get back into training?
Not really. So when when I had that fight and I lost, it was it was just the way I wanted everything to be. I had the camp. So my friends, Paddy Gall, Mark Ginley were training me, and my cousin was training me, Lloyd. So I had my friend. It was family. So Lloyd's my blood cousin, first cousin. Paddy and Ginn are my lifelong friends who I grew up with. So the camp was the family camp. The corner, I trust these guys with my life. So everything was just beautiful the way I wanted it to be. And the camp was enjoyable. Everything was great. But the fight then that didn't go the way I wanted it to. So that made me kind of go, fuck it, try and do something else. But I never announced my retirement. And I'll never announce my retirement because I don't think I'll ever officially retire until over 36. If I'm above 36, I always, when I started boxing, I said that'll be the cap. I don't want to box past 36. But that just, I needed to take a break from it because we've spent, me and Tyrone in this gym come in, he came in a couple of years before me, but from the age of like 11, 12 up to now, 33, this has been our life. I have found a new thing to fill that with comedy, doing shows, and you get a buzz off it. So I just need a step back and a break away from it. But now the break has made me like be more like, listen, I need to, like, I'm enjoying comedy now, but I need to get back into boxing because I'm a boxer at the end of the
It's your
day.
first love.
Yeah, yeah. So
And it's a big commitment to your life, like your whole life surrounded by
yeah,
training, boxing, fights. And obviously, as you get older, you've said that you have wife and kids. That means more now that you have to train harder and be really intentional.
yeah, big time, and you know, there's pressure that you don't want to let them down as well. And especially when your kids like school age, like, you don't want your kids to be getting slagged because you. Like one, I lost a fight, and my oldest daughter, she said somebody she knows like put it up on her Instagram and went timber because I got knocked down, and she was raging, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to have to go through it." And then Tyrone's kids were at the fight, this 32. So it's not, no one, your daddy is meant to be the strongest guy in the world. But listen,
It takes so much courage. Like you said, those people that are haters, they've never really trained in their life. They've never even applied themselves
exactly.
into something really hard. Like this is such a hard pursuit that not
Yes.
a lot of like the 1% get through, like you said, to the world championship. So it's like hopefully Tyrone can really grind himself to be
He
the
will, he
championship.
will, you know.
He gave it his best. I know.
What more? Yeah, exactly. It just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't his net. And that's it. But you know, God doesn't make mistakes. Um, so there's something bigger to come, you know, and like I said, um, it sets up. It's 1-1 there between them two, so it sets up the rubber match, and then we'll see what happens. But it's just raw for me. It's so raw, no. Fuck's sake, it's just a blue stick. That's how raw we're talking. Uh, but nah, I'm gutted for him. But like you say, pick yourself up. We'll go again. It's not the first time we lost. And with bounce back, there's everyone likes a comeback story. And in his fight, when he was boxing, but he fucking Tyrone has that grit and that will to win. So when the tide was against him, is that the right phrase? Sounds right to me. The tide was against him. He fucking really bit down the gumshoe and was like, let's go. And the place was going wild for him.
And do you
So,
think that's to do with like where he comes from? Like,
yeah,
you guys were like really,
yeah, rugged, yeah, definitely. And I could say ADHD as well. He's just nuts. But yeah, Tyrone, everyone loves it. We're all here. We're all be supporting you anyway. But he needs to get that out of his mind because on Friday night we're doing a live show. So he needs to get your head in the game, Tyrone. Fuck's sake. Can't be getting him just walking off a stage in the middle of the fucking show. We got Labyrinth here. Fucking Paddy McDonald, Anthony Kakachi. Imagine we were sitting there and he just walked out, lads, I can't do this. Fuck's sake. Leave Tyrone, you need to get your fucking head in the game, man. Shit. Well, that's your office time, but Jesus Christ. But nah, are you looking forward to the show next week?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Like, has Labyrinth performed before in Belfast? In like, kind
Yeah. So that was like years ago. So for anyone who doesn't know, I know we've joked about it loads, but Labyrinth is my cousin, first cousin. His mum and my mummy's sisters. Um, and he was working with a guy from here when he was like 14 or 15. He had a manager, so he was doing his thing in London, producing music and that, trying to, no, like obviously a teenager. And there was a guy here from Diablo, shout out Diablo, who was, I would say, it's the first rapper from Belfast who I was aware of. And his manager, Labyrinth's manager says, look, there's a guy in Belfast, wants you to work with him, make some music for him and try and polish him up. But in the beginning, Diablo was rapping with an American accent. So Labyrinth come over, says, look, you need to be your own accent and made some music for him. They made a mixtape. It was unreal. And not even just being best. I still have the CD in the house. It was so good. And then so they started doing performances. So he performed at it was like a fun day in on the White Rock Road in I think it was OD's football pitch. Him and Diablo. It was brilliant. And then they done a show in the front page. Do you remember the front page? It was a bar in I don't even know if it's still open, but it was a bar in the city centre. They done a big show there and it was great. And but that was before he was the superstar that he is now. And then obviously coming over and used to come over for the summer, like because me and him's tight. It's not like not everyone has a famous cousin they've never met. Yeah, my cousin's Beyonce. Yeah, what's she saying? Oh, I've never met her. Like my mommy's cousin's auntie's her granny's cousin's niece. No, like trying to connect the dots. No, but this me and Labyrinth, that's my guy, and so that's what we're gonna get into when on the net. He can talk about his experience being Lana Doon's favorite nephew because he used to come and it was mad. But yeah, so he's performed and then obviously when he got big, he performed here in the Odyssey and stuff, and he done a show in the Limelight, sold it, and it was mad when he was up performing and we were there. And on the stage, he was like, "Yeah, I just want to bring up my cousin Tommy McCarthy. He's here." And one of the teachers from my kid's school was there. And then, so that show was on like a Saturday night. On Monday, when I was doing a school run, teacher was like, "So, Tommy, very interesting. Labyrinth is your cousin?" Hey, we were just saying, could we get him up to the school? Maybe give a talk. It would be great for the kids. This is a primary school. Be brilliant. I'm like, oh, I'll speak to him. See, he's very busy. Looks sick. I went up to school because I went to that same primary school. Alva Plunkett, shout out Plunkett. And I went to give a talk after I won the All Irons. This is what we're saying, 2012 maybe. So I won the elite championships, and the team was like, could you come up and give a talk to the pupils? And oh my god, it was like P. I think my daughter must have been P2 or P3 at the time in that school, and so it was her age group first. Oh my god, coming in to talk to them about fitness. Like, right, you make sure you stay off the Xbox and then make sure you get out there. And I was trying to talk to them about just being active. And at the end, any questions? Yes, what's a question here? What are you dressed up as for Halloween? I don't know. What are you doing? Do you ever watch X-Men? Just ask me just these random questions. I was like, right, okay. And then once the just million questions, I had to stop, like, because they were just like, Batman's my favorite superhero. Happy days. So I don't think Labyrinth would be good up there. I don't think anyone would be good up at a primary school. Maybe P6, P7, because you're a wee bit more grown up and you're getting ready for big school. But P5 and below, stay away from her. Then I remember my other daughter, they got me up. I do a lot for the community. Listen, Tommy McCarthy is for the people. And Wu Tang's for the kids, Tommy Mac's for the kids. um, I went up and read a book for they opened a new library. And my other daughter, she doesn't go anymore. She was in she might have been P2 as well. And the teacher was like, I think it would be great if you could come up and read for them for the opening of the library. I said, yeah, yeah. But I didn't tell her. So I come up, the wee thing was packed. The room probably about half the size this. And the teacher was like, we've got a very special guest today who's going to read stories for us. Anyone know who it is? One of the kids were, Santa? No, not Santa. Batman? Not Batman. Kids love Batman and anything. And it's Mr. McCarthy. My daughter, I was looking at her and she was like, Mr. McCarthy? That's my name, Mr. McCarthy. And I said, Tommy, come up and read. My daughter went purple. I swear to God, she was so embarrassed. I thought she would have been buzzing. She was embarrassed. Like, at that young age, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I thought you would have been loving it. She was like, no, don't do that ever again. It's like, all the other kids are loving it. But yeah, she was so embarrassed.
What do your kids think about what you do and being in public? Do you think it's cool?
Yeah, they love it, yeah. Are you famous? Like my oldest daughter was at the fight last night. And she was in bits, she was in tears because Uncle Tyrone lost. But yeah, they do love it, like, because um if we go like to the cinema or for out, we do family stuff, you get recognized, and I don't know why they love it so much. And they love Tyrone, Uncle Tyrone, he's famous. So yeah, they do enjoy it. But I feel that's why I always say to my daughter, and there's all of them, though the younger ones are only 3 or 4 and 5, so they don't need to have this talk yet. But the older ones, I'm like, you need to hold yourself to a higher standard because, like, it's just the way, it's the hands you were dealt. Everyone knows me. So you're not just you're Tommy McCarthy's daughter. So you need to be, like, behaving yourself more so because you're under more of a microscope. But
But it's interesting though that you have both family here and in London, so they have like a diverse understanding of success.
Yeah.
People not just have stayed in West Belfast their whole life.
yeah, that's it. And like London, I'd be very tight with my family in London. So my kids will have relationships with their cousins over there too. So we'll try and get over as much as possible. And then it's good now with social media. So you can stay in contact with Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and all that. So they're always talking to each other and they have more, like you say, like a broader spectrum of stuff. And then with me, obviously, sports and now comedy, successful. I'm a double act or triple act now in a podcast. And but with my family in London, it's all music. So they're all singers and musicians. So success.
Your comedy one?
Comedy's going well. I've done. Do you know what? Mickey Bartlett was on. When was that? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? So I opened up for Mickey Bartlett on Thursday night in the Devonish. That was the start of Phil. So that was fun. Um, I'll be honest with you. It was I don't know if it went well or not. Like it didn't go terrible, but it didn't go amazing. Usually I I would friggin' come off the stage and be like, I was unreal. But come off and say, but I don't know how that went. And he's like, oh no, it was good. It's better than what you think. But I don't know.
Did you feel that? Did you not enough laughs, or did it feel it's hard to get the room?
It's just, yeah. Because I went on first in the cold room.
Yeah, so you're warming everyone up.
Yeah. And usually, when you go to them big shows, there's an MC, so they'll come up and they'll do a bit of shit talk before it starts. And then go ready for your first act. But this went downwards. They had to make behind the stage where, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tommy McCarthy. And I logged on. They're all sitting there again. That's it. When I tried some new stuff that went well, and so I was happy with that. That's gonna stay in my set from.
But it's risky to try new stuff
I
on
know.
like a big stage.
I don't know, but see, like I've never. I think I said this to you before, but I've never asked to do a comedy show, and people ask me. So a lot of people try out new stuff, and they go to like smaller venues because if it's shit, then it's okay. They'll bin it. But with me, because I'm doing so much other stuff, like I do comedy if someone asks me to do it. And so if I get an opportunity to do it, then I'm gonna try it there and then. So
Yeah, because we talked about that last year, where like you don't have the same pressure with comedy. You're like you go into the ring and you get beat up, and that's like.
Yeah, don't always get beat up, Esther. Like sometimes I'm doing a beating,
When you're in comedy, you're like if people don't laugh, and it's like you go through worse in other aspects, and build a reputation for yourself in this lane. So it's almost like it's transferring to this lane.
Yeah, so that's it. Like that, I think with other comedians, they like I'm saying they're under pressure and I'm not. So they don't want to try new stuff and then it doesn't hit because then it's like, oh shit. But for me, like it's just some new funny stuff. Like I say jokes, but it's not actually jokes, like it's story. So here's a new funny story. And luckily people find it funny. And I think before I try something, I always would run it by Tyrone and my wife, So I go, do you think this is funny? And then if they go, yeah, yeah. But if they go, "No," then I won't say it then. But yeah, so the comedy's going well. And then we're doing our podcast on the 9th. And then I'm opening for Paddy Raff the next day in the Downies as part of the field. So that'll be a big show too. And I'm going to try new stuff there as well. I've actually been thinking because I've been doing comedy for 2 years, but this is my 3rd year doing the field stand up. So how does that work out? I'm not sure, but it's my 3rd fail in a row. But I've only been doing comedy for 2 years.
But also, I think doing the podcast, like it's very comedic.
Yeah.
Between you and Tyrone and your guests. So it's like I was listening to other comedy podcasts, and they're always saying that this format is their comedy because you're constantly talking and working on things, and you're doing things without even realizing that you're building your set, you're building your story.
Yeah. And then like there's funny stories and stuff that happen that I want to talk about it in a podcast because I just go through my wee life, and then when funny stuff happens, I take a wee note. So if you look here, these are the podcast notes. If you can see all this shit, and then I just take them down and say we'll talk about that on the podcast. And then I have this thing comedy notes is the same, just we things that happened. I go fuck, I could do a story about it, and but then sometimes like if Tyrone would start, no, like, because obviously we do a lot of stuff together. So if he starts talking about something, everyone head is there, and fuck, don't want to talk about that because I'm only using stand up. But you can use them both because not everyone watches the podcast. Not everyone who watches the podcast go to stand up. But it is great to have a co-host so you can bounce off. Like, thanks, Tony. I couldn't do this for me, Tony. Got up out of my bed this morning. I could have had a friggin' lion, but no. Yeah, but we'll leave you off. We'll let him off. Freak sick. But let's look at my notes. What's I had that I wanted to talk about with Tyrone. But I'll talk about it with you instead, Esther. Oh my god. So yeah. This is what happened to me. Does this ever happen to any of you? The scammers on the phone? Did you get scammed?
It was the first year I'd ever registered as a business.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever done my tax return. And I thought I'd done it wrong. So I got someone called me, sent it from the HMRC, and they made it sound really official. And then they said that I was going to get prosecuted and taken to jail if I don't send £2,000 right now. But like, I was so embarrassed and gullible, so I was like, no, no, this isn't right. I called them back and I was like, I don't think this is right. And then the guy started swearing at me. You're supposed to send this money. And I was like, I don't think.
Was it? Where was he from on the phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what? What is going on in that country? Scamming like there's no man's business. That's I get scammed too as well. A woman phoned me, and that's when it sounded official because O2. Are you on O2?
I'm at 3.
Well, what's your customer service? Is it Indian people?
Yeah.
You never go on it? So it's usually Indian people. So when they phone me and it was like, hello, you are a loyal customer of O2, so we're going to give you 40% off your bill for being so loyal. And I was like, happy days. Because I have been with O2 from the beginning of time. And I was like, yeah, it sounds right. So I am a loyal customer because I've been there for a long time. Are you happy with this? Yes. I was like, yep, happy as fuck. So they said, give me your email. We're going to send you an email. Send me this email, right? Click on the link. So this woman was talking me through it, and I could hear it sound like a call center in the background. And she was like, so yes, follow the instructions. And it was it said change password. So change password to TOMMY1, okay? Yes. And then click OK. And then when you get to the next, it will say something to ignore the next message. Then so I read it and I was like, it says here if someone's on the phone, it's a scam. She was like, no, I told you, ignore this message. I says, no. Is this a scam? Mr. Tommy, I told you. And it just started going mad on the phone. And I was like, listen to me. It's for fucking scam me. No. I told you. And then I hung up. And I started ringing back. And then I answered me, you're a scamming bastard. She said, no, I told you, Aaron, you are a loyal customer. I said, then you're shitting and everything. Fuck off. Hung up. And then phoned O2. And then it was a guy from England on the customer service. And he was like, yes, okay, let me check. I says, listen, I've got right to the fucking last bit. So I'm like, how vulnerable am I? He was like, Yes, sir, that was a fraudulent call. It's like, I know it was a fucking fraudulent call. That's why I'm ringing you. Do you think I'm I was like, do you think I'm an agent? Yeah, well, obviously you are an agent. If you fell for it, I was like, no, mate, seriously. How are we looking? He says, no, there's been nothing happened. So thank God. But what is going on? I wonder where the, like, whereabouts in India.
How did they get your phone number?
You know, because all your stuff goes out there, doesn't it? On everything, all your information. But I wonder, are they even in India?
Yeah. I think they are, because a lot of companies do outsource to
Yeah.
like India, Bangladesh, those
Yeah,
kind of countries.
like it's so weird.
Because now I don't answer any calls that are like unknown or even that are not in my
Yeah.
contacts.
You don't answer on no bad man, not answer no private number. Did you hear that song? Yeah, you should be play it in the car on the way home here. But now I answer all calls just because I ain't scared. I ain't scared. I'd be hoping for beef. I'm hoping someone's gonna start them. Wow, I'm brilliant at arguing on the phone. In person, I fucking killed someone on the phone.
I was watching one of your clips where you called this man
Oh, you would prank them?
asking him to be
Yeah,
sorry.
he was going mad. So yeah, we're gonna see as well, right? So we're gonna start doing that on Patreon again, right? Because people see we start getting numbers sent us flat out, prank this one, prank this one. But if you saturate the market and overdo it, then people are gonna start going, yeah, we know that's what's getting wet. So we're gonna have to be very choosy who we're gonna prank. We're gonna start all that crack again. Obviously, Tyrone, we had to fall back slightly from the Patreon stuff because McKenna was getting ready for his fight and he put everything into it, you know. So now he's gonna have a break. So the next couple of weeks will be Patreon out. Flat hell man. So yeah, but the prank phone calls, you can't go wrong with pranks. I used to love it when I was a kid because I'm good at doing accents. Always when I was a kid. So we used to phone, no, we used to do, right? Get like phone numbers, like a real number, and then change the last digit. And then you just phone someone and you don't know who you're phoning. We used to fucking torture. Is it, hopefully people don't get offended. You always worry about, is it, people get offended by doing accents? Do you think that's offensive?
I don't think it's offensive. It depends the context of the conversation. I think if it's you're trying to be funny and you're making fun of all accents,
Yeah.
work away.
What I find offensive about accents, if you can't do them and you're trying to do them, like if you can't do them, just talk in a normal accent and tell. But if you can do them, it accentuates the story.
What's your favorite accent?
I don't know. My favorite accent to do, Jamaican. I always loved it. Then fucking my family always laugh now because like if we're at stuff and then I do Jamaican, and my granddad, when I'm on the phone to my granddad, he just, me and him always just start on and he starts laughing. But that's my favorite. And American, you can't beat American. People have actually complained about the much times me and Tyrone always bounce in and out of friggin'. See, there was a time where, I'm not joking, when we were teenagers, maybe we were in late teens, we never talked in our normal accent. We literally American all the time. And then I only would do it with Tyrone. But then when I was in the world, then I was being, you know, everyone has the different masks. So it would be the normal Tommy in the world. But Tyrone just always American accent flat out. And somebody said to me, I was talking to a mate there the other day, the American fella. I was like, he's not American, he's from Andy. Well, that's how much, but you can't help it. I think probably because American, you watch American movies and America is just the where everyone wants to be. All your heroes are American. your first heroes ever. So it's just it feels so good. I'd love to have a real American accent. But
So tell us what's happening next week.
so next week, right, folks? So the doors are at 7, shows at 8. So we want you to get down and get ready. So we get down there at 7, find your seat because it's unreserved seating. So apart from maybe the first row, I'm gonna reserve for mad people, obviously. Who I'm away from my kids and family. They can sit in the front. But all the rest of it is unreserved. So get down early, get a good seat, get some drinks, and get settled. Because then the show's gonna start at 8. Usually we close the bar. I don't think we closed the bar the last time. And I think that might have been a mistake because people getting up during shows to go to and get a drink. It's a melt for us on stage and it disrupts everyone else. We want you to listen because, excuse me, was that a burp? Oh my God. Disgusting. But people, this is going to be interesting because we're going to get into, obviously, Anthony Kakachi. So he's been on the show. He's actually been on this twice, but he's just back from winning the world title, he's a unified champion. He made history by becoming the first super featherweight to win a world title from this country. So we're going to get into this story. Very interesting. The guy, listen, I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to get into it on the day. Then Paddy McDonald going to do a set. And Paddy didn't even do the field this year because this podcast is part of the field. And Paddy was taking a break from it because he's doing his big show in the SSC. But Paddy, that's my guy. That's my comedic mentor. So Paddy's coming. Everyone knows he get with Paddy McDonald. So he's funny as FUCK. And then Labyrinth, like I said, that's my cousin. We're gonna get into his story. A lot of people don't know this. That Labyrinth grew up in West Belfast in the Lannadoon area. So they talk about coming to Lannadoon for the summers and all that stuff and how he got into music. This is a guy like us, working class. Like we said from the start, we are the working class. We are the people's podcast. So a man from humble beginnings and now he's made it to the top. Like, you may be able to get some game. He'll be dropping gems on how to do it. And then it'll hopefully be all wrapped up by around 10, half 10. And then everyone can go and enjoy the night. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it was a struggle to even get this. Like, if you've seen the promo, did you seen the promo for it, dude? That is a dramatized version of true events because, as we all know, Tyrone decided after the last live that we've done, which was the best one that we've done. We've done 4. They're getting better every time. That last one was flawless victory. Tyrone's like, I'm not doing this again. Nah, can't do it. My anxiety's through the roof, can't do it. And obviously, I do want to do it because I am a friggin' showman. So's Tyrone. Tyrone's a showman as well, but I don't know. It's just too much fun, right? And then the Phil asked us to put it on again. So this is exactly what happened. Tyrone was out having a coffee, seen Kevin from the Phil. Kevin says, look, you want to do it? We'll give you Friday night. No, we said we want to put it on. The last time we done in the Phil, it was Wednesday. So I was like, fuck's sake, midweek, we can't do anything. That's shit. He says, oh, we'll only do it if we get the weekend. He says, oh, we'll give you Friday night. And then, so he didn't have anything. He says to me, Tom, I'm not doing it. I'd only do it if you get Labyrinth to do it. And I was like, right, I'll ring him, I'll say it to him. And then Labyrinth was like, yeah, man, yeah, let's do it. Got all around, I was like, Tyrone, Labyrinth's gonna do it. He's like, fuck's sake, what the fuck? He's like, nah, who else we're gonna get? We can't, there's nobody else. And I was like, what about Kikets? Kikets, he'd be brilliant. Like, he's just won the world title. Mural of him. He's had property and he's our mate. He was like, you can ask him, but he won't do it. I says, nah, I think he will. He says, nah. He told me he wouldn't do it and he's not going to do it. And I says, Aldo was like, he was hemmed and hard, to be honest. And I was like, it'd be good. Like, and Aldo loves Labyrinth. He's a big Labyrinth fan. So he actually said no at the start. He was like, fuck it, Tommy, no way. And I went, Labyrinth's on it? He was like, certainly. So, that was it. And then I've said the throne here. Caddy said he's going to do it. And he's like, fuck, what the fuck? I think he actually tried to talk Kakachi out of doing it. So, yeah, everyone's going to have a great night. There's still a few tickets available. And last night at the fights, a lot of people, there's a lot of Whiskey and White fans, obviously, there. Because what's funny, there's a boxing crowd people who just live for boxing, and it is a small, like, in a grand scale, I think boxing is a very niche market. And there's a lot of people who don't like boxing. So, but podcast is, everyone loves podcasts. So it's opened us up to a whole new fan base. So there's a lot of people there last night who went to watch Tyrone based off watching the podcast. So people going, oh, wow, yes, brilliant. I love a podcast, Whiskey and White. Is there still tickets left? But there is no physical tickets, so you're going to have to go online to get them. So the links in my social media, on Tyrone's social media, on the Whiskey and White Instagram. And I'd say, let me just check what it's called. Because it's not, what do you call it? It's not Eventbrite. It's something else. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here in a second. Right. The thing to get tickets is universe.com and then Whiskey and White. So, yeah, folks, I just want to say thanks for viewing again. Friday night is on and popping, baby. And, commiserations to my brother, Kid Scorpion. But, Tyrone, you done well. Thanks for coming in and doing a podcast even after the fight last night, and you know what? I have to break up myself, don't I? Because I kept going. I did this all for y'all. I could have just kept walking. I went, fuck this. But nah, confirmed it. Friday night, make sure you get your tickets. Share it, everybody. Make sure to subscribe on the Patreon. Share it. Esther, you helped me. You helped me out there. And yeah, folks, peace and love. We'll see you next week. With him going all the way.